How we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today I'm going to be recapping UFC Vancouver, DeRitter vs. Allen. Wrapped up about 30 minutes ago, I'd say. I took a little bit of time to record this because I was watching the fucking MMA community live stream of the century between Guru, LucasTracy, and BedtimeMMA. Fucking comedy, by the way. If you weren't there for that, oh my god, it was so fucking funny. Anyways, Vancouver was a fun card. I would say until the co-main event, the fights were fucking nuts. Even then, I think that the co-main event was pretty good. DeRitter Allen kind of underdelivered. It was a lot more grappling than I expected there to be. And also, DeRitter just kind of didn't show up in the form that I thought he would. Excuse me. Speaking of which, pick-wise, I did terrible. I went 5-8 on predictions, which is tied for, I think, my worst ever prediction card of all time. I think it's tied with, if you exclude draws and no contests from Final Fight Tally, it's tied with my Noche predictions, and then I believe UFC Macau last year in November, I went 5-8. Let me make sure, because I think I did bad on Paris last year, too, if I'm not mistaken. I went 6-8 on Moicano Saint-Denis, but I also went 5-8 on Jan Figueiredo. So this is tied for my worst prediction card of all time. On the channel, at least. I think prior to starting the channel, I had some bad ones, but they were not nearly as bad as this one. And I got the main event wrong. Speaking of which, let's get into some actual breakdowns. Enough of the jibber-jabber. Rene DeRitter lost pretty fucking badly to Brendan Allen. Ended up quitting after the fourth round. This was insane to me. If you've been paying attention to the sport for a while, right? You've been looking at Rene DeRitter's, build up in the sport, his first 4 fights in the UFC. Had a really weird fight with Gerald Meerschaert in his debut. After that fight, a lot of people, even myself, were like, "Man, this guy's pretty overrated." A lot of people thought RDR was gonna turn into another outsourced older guy that was outside of the UFC that was super hyped up, had a lengthy career outside the UFC, get brought in and then kind of get smoked by the higher competition. But then after that, RDR had some easy ones. Kevin Holland and then Bo Nickel. Had a wild fight with Robert Whittaker that he ended up winning. And then against Brendan Allen, RDR looks like utter dog shit. Dude, for round 1, I was like, oh man, this is going to be way easier than I thought it'd be. Because in round 1, RDR got that goofy-ass WMMA head and arm throw that he goes for in every fight on Brendan Allen. I was like, oh shit. This is about to end terribly for Brendan Allen. I guess RDR might have gassed his own legs out in this fight. He had a body triangle for quite some time in round 1 and at the beginning of round 2 that might have actually zapped his energy. Because RDR, this looked like when RDR fought Malikan. If you remember those fights from one championship where he literally is just laying on the ground giving up. He doesn't want to get up. He's so fucking tired. And after round 1, RDR had his back for almost the entire time until the final 2 seconds. He fell off and then Brendan kind of just held him there. Round 2, RDR gets another takedown, jumps to the back of Brendan Allen, ends up getting reversed, and Brendan Allen starts teeing off on him, landing some really good elbows, stays on top of him for about 3 minutes. Round 3 rolls up again. And again, RDR gets another takedown. And then again, jumps to the back. And Brendan Allen ends up on top. It's one of those things where Rene DeRitter in rounds 2 and 3 really made critical mistakes. And, wow, that's crazy. In both those rounds, Brendan Allen only landed 27 strikes. I thought he landed more, to be fair. I think they're discounting some of the ground and pound strikes here. I thought Brendan Allen started to tee off a little bit more in round 2, especially. Round 3, very similar to round 2. Failed back take from RDR. Round 4 opens up, and Brendan Allen immediately takes down Rene DeRitter. Ends up getting a double leg, lifts him up, slams him on the ground, is on top of him for the rest of the round. And then round 5, Rene quits. He doesn't even, they throw in the towel, essentially. His corner's like, no mas. They no mast this time. This is a very interesting outcome. Because here's the thing. If Rene won this, and the way that he would have won this, if he were to beat Brendan Allen, like if he didn't fully gas out, maybe he would have finished Brendan in round 2. That's what a lot of people thought was going to happen, was RDR to finish Brendan Allen round 2, round 3, maybe. We would be seeing maybe him jump Imavov for a title shot because they really liked RDR. The UFC really liked the marketability of Rene de Ridder. He's Dutch. He has a 100% finish rate. He had a 100% finish rate. Went to war with Robert Whittaker. They threw him in here to headline against Fluffy. Fluffy pulls out. They throw in Brendan Allen as kind of like a, this is like a guy still in the top 10, but pretty fucking winnable if you ask the UFC. Brendan Allen coming off a war with Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori unironically did better than RDR, like dead ass. And that makes me really worried about Robert Whittaker's career because Robert looked really. This is an interesting outcome. Brendan Allen's going to be in the top 5. He called out Dreykus and Sean. I like the Dreykus matchup. Because here's what I would like to see. I would like to see Dreykus and Allen fight. Now, Allen, by the way, took no damage in this fight. He took very minimal damage in this fight. You do Allen DDP, fight night main event. Imavov, Hamzat, pay-per-view main event, main card, just like a paper, one of the Paramount cards. Sean Strickland, I want to see him fight Izzy, but apparently he doesn't want to fight Izzy. So fuck it. Do Sean Strickland, Anthony Hernandez. Then do Izzy versus Caio Borralho. Do that. Robert Whittaker can fight fucking MVP for all I care. The middleweight division, this is a huge flip. This adds a lot of, I would say, depth to the. I thought whoever won this, I thought that Rene shouldn't have deserved a title shot even if he did win this. I would have still liked to see the winner of this fight, DDP, to get DDP back in there. But Brendan Allen has huge beef with DDP, so that actually, this was a better outcome for a fight with DDP. And RDR, he is older, isn't he? Is he 35? He's 35, so I guess this... I don't know, man. I don't know where you go with RDR outside of that matchup with, like... Who did I even just matchmake RDR with? I didn't matchmake him, did I? I don't know what you do with RDR. I don't really know what you do with him. You definitely don't book the Fluffy Hernandez matchup because after seeing that, I was going to pick RDR to beat Fluffy Hernandez. Just because I'm not, like, you guys know how I feel about Fluffy. I ain't ever picking this fucking dude. He would have fucking ran through RDR bad. He would have fucked him up. He would have fucked Rene bad. He would have beaten the shit out of him if that fight would have been made. RDR gassed out, honestly, impressively quick. Like, it's like a Michel Pereira level, like, holy fuck, you look like that in round 2? Especially considering that he just went 5 with Robert, and he was training for yet another fight. It's not like he was the one that took this on short notice. He had a full camp. Oh, maybe not full. I mean, obviously, the fight got booked, August 12th or something? It got booked really quick after Fluffy beat fucking Roman Dolidze August 9th. Insane outcome, though. Crazy. I'm still baffled. This... Because Brendan Allen, like that, it's just nuts how the UFC works. Brendan Allen is the guy that's able to beat RDR. Not Robert, not Bo, not even like a Kevin Holland. It's fucking Brendan Allen on short notice as well. Brendan Allen's a top 5 middleweight now. That's crazy. It's just like it's just how the world works. We move to the co-main event, Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. Yet another fight I got wrong. This was a really strange one, obviously. The first round I thought was Kevin's. And this is one of those things where we need to have a universal, like, thing for penalties. Because if you do take a point away from Mike Malott, that makes this a 10-8 round, and it's a draw. But we saw a point deduction earlier in the fight, in the rounds, with Kyle Prepolek, Drew Dober, which was a very similar thing. It was a very similar thing. Actually, this one was even worse, because Kevin Holland actually took two breaks. It wasn't like Kyle Prepolek, where people forget about the first one that even happened. I'll get to that when I get to it. Kevin Holland gets, I believe it was it a kick? I think he got kicked to the balls, felt it a little bit, took maybe 30 seconds, got immediately back in there, and then he got kneed. It looked like the knee landed on like the thigh. To me, it didn't look like crazy low. It looked like maybe it jostled the cup a little bit, but what I think probably happened was the cup probably pinched his nuts, is what happened, which does fucking suck bad. It reminds me like a Cedric Dumas, a Victor Henry type thing, where the cup just kind of like, it can almost lacerate your testicles in a way. But my thing is, if that happened, you can just stop the fight. You don't need to continue fighting. The way that Kevin Holland was acting was like, oh, I'm like Bambi. I can't fucking walk. If you're that hurt, just don't fight. You don't need to fucking put up this tough guy persona to just lose a decision. Because that's what ended up happening was Kevin Holland won round one, dropped Mike Malott. They didn't credit him with a knockdown, but he dropped Mike Malott essentially. And then goes on to lose rounds 2 and 3. I don't know if these are the true numbers for round 3. I don't really believe it. Even then, Mike Malott won with the takedown and the subsequent submission attempt. He had a really tight head and arm choke. I don't know. I don't really care about this, like, the outcome that much. Mike Malott's gonna be ranked though, unless maybe not. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if Kevin's top 15 still. Is he? I think he is, right? Yeah, he's number. So there's Mike Malott's ranking. You can do Mike Malott, Daniel Rodriguez, I guess. Or I think MMAGuru on the Fight Companion said that something happened with Daniel Rodriguez where he might never fight again. I don't know what that's alluding to. I hope it's not anything too crazy, but if you can't do that, you can do Mike Malott versus like Jeff Neal. Like kind of early, middle next year, May, April, that sort of thing. I don't care about Mike Malott coming back super fast. He never usually does. Mike Malott usually does sit out for a number of months in between fights. Like, for example, he sat out 5 months between the this fight and the Charles Radke performance. He sat out something similar to that. He fought November, December, January, February, March, April, May. He sat out 6 months from the Giles to the Mike Malott, to the Charles Radke. He usually sits out 5 to half a year between performances, if he wins, especially. So timelines match up. Jeff Neal is going to be sitting out for quite a number of time, due to of course, the Protest KO, obviously. But yeah, I don't really care about Mike Malott, I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe they do like a fight night in Canada sometime there. They usually do something in Canada, maybe a pay-per-view as well. Who cares? Kevin Holland, stop fucking moping about. We move to the featured fight, Chito Vera versus Aiemann Zahabi. I thought Chito won. I don't know if that's crazy or not. I thought Zahabi won round 3. I thought he won round 3. I thought he did some really good damage to Chito in round 3. I thought Chito landed the better shots in rounds 1 and 2. Obviously, round 2 is his. He drops Aiemann Zahabi. Round 1, even though the numbers do favor Aiemann, I thought that Chito landed the better shots in the round. Maybe the end of the round can give it to... It's another one of those things where Aiemann has a really close fight, and I feel like the only reason he does get the decision is because it's in Canada. Which sucks. Because if they would have given him this decision anywhere else, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's a blatant robbery. or it's like, oh, that's hometown cooking. It reminds me a lot of the Jose Aldo fight, where I thought the Jose Aldo fight was close. I thought this fight was pretty close. But I'm like, I feel like Chito edged the first 2 rounds. Jose Aldo, I feel like, edged the first 2 rounds. I thought they did more damage. But then Amian gets the decision. Just because it's in Canada. You know what I mean? Like, I feel. Like, I just can't. That's just how I feel about these fights. I still don't think Amian Zahabi will be anything in this division, especially. Chito, sucks to see him lose to a guy like fucking Amian Zahabi. I'll be honest. I'll be frank with you. But, yeah. I don't know. It was a good fight. Amian took some pretty big damage. He honestly, like, seemingly wobbled Chito a couple times, especially in round 3. He was landing some big shots in round 3. But it's like, after this fight, he called out Sean O'Malley. Please make Sean O'Malley fight this fucking dude. Please. Please fucking give Amian Zahabi the Sean O'Malley fight. Please. I'm begging you. Make that fight. Make it. Or do him in Song Yadong. Do something like that. You know what? Let's fuck it. Let's light this candle, huh? Post the video. You know what I mean? Like fucking Homelander shit. Give Amian the sugar show. Let's see what happens. Sean O'Malley would bounce this fucking bald shithead's head off the canvas, dude. Come on. Come on. Make that fight. Come on. Sad to see Chito lose. Amian Zahabi won, I guess. I thought it was really close. I thought I edged it to Chito, but what are you going to do? We move to Manon Fior versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. Manon ran through Jasmine, man, brutally. Hurt her really bad with a straight right hand. Jasmine goes really wobbly legs. Like Kevin Lee, Edson Barboza type shit. Like she's genuinely like dancing in the octagon. Manon capitalizes, goes for a knee. I think lands another one. And then just kind of starts just throwing a bunch of fucking shots to the side of her head. They're in like a whizzer position, but there's no whizzer, you know what I mean? Like she has her back, but she's off to the side, and she's just unloading shots to the side of Jasmine's head, bouncing it off the canvas. Ref steps in. That's a great win for Manon Fior. Honestly, that's a really good win for Manon Fior in that flyweight division. Sets back Jasmine quite a ways. I would think. Jasmine just coming off of the win over Amanda. What the fuck? Why can't I think? Jessica Andrade. Amanda? What the fuck? What am I thinking about? It threw me off because Amanda, not Amanda, Jessica Andrade, motherfucker. Why am I thinking about Amanda Ribas? They haven't even. Because for some reason, Jessica Andrade isn't in the flyweight rankings anymore. I think that they removed her because she fought. I guess she did fight at strawweight last time out. So I guess they just removed her. Anyways. Really great win for Manon Fior, honestly. I still think that Natalia Silva should fight whoever's champion next. I think she gets the winner, coming off a brutal performance over Alexa Grasso. I say you do Manon Fior versus, maybe the winner of Erin Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez, especially if it's Tracy Cortez, which I don't think it will be. If it's Erin Blanchfield, you can kind of skip over that. Make Erin versus like Alexa Grasso or something like that. Manon's in a weird position because she did lose a very competitive fight to Shevchenko. I don't really want to see her fight for a title again, though. You know what I mean? Like I just don't care about Manon Fior like that. This is a really good performance. When was the last time Manon Fior finished a fight in the UFC? I guess we'll never know. Let me try this route of clicking. I guess I won't be able to check. My bad for even trying. I can't think about the last time Manon Fior finished a fight in the UFC though. Fuck. I can't think. Probably one of her first fights. She beat the shit out of Mayra Bueno Silva, right? She didn't finish her though, did she? I don't know. Who cares? Great win for Manon Fior. She's in kind of like limbo, though. I don't think this gets her a title shot. But Jasmine. We move to Charles Jourdain versus Davey Grant. One of the 5 fights I got correct. Same with this one. Yeah, it was... You could clearly see an athletic difference between Charles Jourdain and Davy Grant very early on in this fight. There was a very big physicality thing where, especially with the dexterity in like the movement, Davy was very stiff, moving around the cage, trying to cut off the cage with Charles. Charles looked very fast in this fight, threw a flying knee. By the way, I have no fucking idea how Davy Grant ate the flying knee. I know he dropped it. I know he got dropped from it. I have no idea how he didn't go fully unconscious. It landed square on his fucking face. It looked crazy in the slow motion. Yeah, but Charles Jourdain beat the shit out of Davy Grant. Davy Grant, a lot of his strikes landed were lower inside low kicks. Really brutal. Charles Jourdain kind of rolled with him a little bit. He kind of lifted the leg to kind of alleviate some of the damage. Charles Jourdain kind of running on the outside, peppering him, threw a flying knee, didn't land, gets out of the range, and then throws another one, catches Davy Grant square on his smug little face, immediately chains it into a guillotine, his favorite thing in the UFC. I think Charles Jourdain has 5 guillotine finishes inside the UFC, something fucking crazy like that. I know he's got Lana Venata with one. He just got Victor Henry one. He just got Davy Grant with one. There's one before that I can't think of. I want to say it was Ricardo Ramos in the Apex. And then I think he has another one that I can't quite name. But great submission from Charles Jourdain. 2-0 at bantamweight, man. Charles Jourdain looks fucking good. He looks pretty fucking good. Look how shredded he is, too. Charles Jourdain used to be one of those, like, flabby guys in the division at featherweight where it was like, I feel like he might be able to go down to bantamweight. Because that was kind of the thing, was that he was flabby. He was still quick at featherweight, but it felt like he was too small in a way at featherweight. Like, Shane Burgos, John Silva, those guys are featherweights. They're fucking huge. Even though John was shorter than Charles Jourdain, John's, like, dense. Charles Jourdain was just kind of flabby. Here, even against, like, a dense guy in Davy Grant's a dense bantamweight. Charles looked big. He looked pretty fucking swole next to Davy Grant. Great finish from Charles Jourdain. I don't really know who you give him next. He didn't take any damage. So I would like to see Charles Jourdain get back in there pretty soon. I don't want to see a huge layoff out of him, because he did take some time off between this fight and yeah, he took almost a year off, man. I don't want to see that. Get back in there. I want to see Charles Jourdain fight like early next year. I want to see January, February out of Charles Jourdain. Is there any Aussie bantamweights you can throw him in there with? I would say Cody Haddon, but Cody Haddon's booked to fight Malcolm Wellmaker, which is going to be a great fight come November 15th. I'm trying, because I want to see if I can book him on that February Sydney card, the Paramount pay-per-view. Not a pay-per-view, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I can't think of... On the fight companion, they mentioned Raul Rosas Jr., which I think that's a great matchup. I don't think the UFC would make that, if I'm being honest with you. You could also do him versus, like, Arichi Lang, honestly. Arichi Lang got a huge win this card. Or you could do him versus... who are some bantamweights that are, like... dude, if Peyton Talbot wasn't booked, him and Charles Jourdain would be great. You could do him versus, like, the winner of Marcos Felipe Lima. You could do that. Something like that. Charles Jourdain, he's a big name. Like, for unranked sides of things, I think Charles Jourdain's pretty likable by most fans. So, give him something. We move to the opening of the main card. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. Now, this fight was a big bag of bullshit. Kyle Nelson got a knockout in round 1. He finished Matt Frevola. Do not let this bullshit decision thing on this screen fool you. He knocked out Matt Frevola in the first round. He finished this fight. He knocked him out. He dropped him bad, was ground and pounding him. Dan Miragliotta stepped in with 3 seconds left to go in the round and claimed that, it was just a horn. There was no horn, bud. There was no horn, dog. You're fucking cap rapping from behind the computer. If I'm mutilate your... No, I'm sorry. Yeah, but Dan Miragliotta, he literally stopped the fight and was like, oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. And then just decided to restart the fucking... You can't do that, motherfucker. Who you think you are? You can't do that. Just because you had a bad stoppage doesn't mean you... It reminds me a lot of the Neil Magny, Jake Matthews thing. You stopped the fight. I don't care if you personally think it was a bad stoppage or not. You stepped in. You stopped the fight. Now, Dan, to be fair, he didn't wave his arms, but he did separate the action with 3 seconds left to go in the round. He did do that. It wasn't like he accidentally tripped and fell. He was very close to the action, tapped both of them, and then said stop. And then Kyle Nelson gets up, celebrates. This goes on 2 more rounds. I thought Kyle Nelson won the next 2 rounds any fucking ways. But still, Kyle Nelson got robbed of a first-round knockout over Matt Frivola, which in his hometown, and not as in I don't know if Kyle Nelson's from Vancouver, but he's Canadian, so in his home country, he got robbed of a first-round finish. That fucking sucks. Good win though. Pretty crazy fight. Pretty scrappy. Kyle Nelson looked pretty mediocre after round 1 though. Had a huge adrenaline dump. You could see it in his arms. He was shaking them off every 10 seconds. It was pretty wild. Matt Frivola, he's still, Matt Frivola. So, what are you going to do? We move to the feature prelim. Kyle Prepelec versus Drew Dober. Now, this will correlate with the Kevin Holland breakdown that I did earlier. This was a pretty good fight. I gave round 1 to Drew Dober, like most sane people probably did. This was a weird matchup. Kyle Prepelec, until the finish, literally showed no facial damage at all. And Drew Dober was landing big bombs. Drew Dober showed a lot of visible damage, swelling around his left eye, bloody nose, bloody mouth. Round 2, very clearly Kyle Prepelec. I know these numbers say otherwise. They didn't credit him with the knockdown that he got. He dropped Drew Dober at the very end of the round. It was a lot like the Manuel Torres one where he ran forward. Kyle had a left hand waiting for him. I think Manuel Torres dropped him with a right hand, but it was like Drew Dober kind of ran face first into a shot with his hand when he was throwing a punch, and he kind of just took it on the side of his face and then just slumped in the canvas a little bit. But yeah, going into round 3, very early into round 3, there's a bad low blow by Drew Dober. This one was a low kick that went a little bit too high, landing right on the cup. They take a point away from Drew Dober. Now here's the thing. Drew Dober did go low on Kyle Prepelec earlier in the fight. He landed a low blow. Kyle Prepelec did the thing that tough guys do, where he was like, nah, I'm good, while still grabbing his nuts. He was like, no, I'm good. So there was technically no pause in the action, but this was technically the second time Drew Dober landed a low blow. And I like the point deduction. I do, because I believe if you commit a foul twice, you should get a point deducted. But the thing is, we didn't do the same thing here. That's my issue with it. I think if we're going to take a point away here, for the Canadian guy, you take the point away in favor of the Canadian guy in a fight with Drew Dober, where the universe essentially knows this is 1-1 going into the third round. So not only are you making this an uphill battle for Drew Dober, you're making this honestly impossible for him to win without getting a finish, which, thankfully, ball don't lie, he did getting a finish. And the thing is, Kyle Prepelec, his reaction wasn't even as bad as Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland took 5 minutes and 20 seconds in the round, and another minute and a half in between the rounds. There was the minute break and then a minute and 30 seconds where he was just being super vague with the doctor. Which, by the way, that's bullshit. I don't think that should have been allowed. This fight should have been stopped. This fight shouldn't have continued. This fight, I thought the point deduction, while be it a little hasty, I like it. Because I think if you do commit a foul twice, get a fucking point deducted. Especially with the circumstances. Kyle Prepelec, he fucking was hurting bad after the low blow. Even though I'm a huge fan of Drew Dober, I picked him to win. I don't mind it. Just be fucking fair with the point deductions, though. Don't be fucking picking and choosing when to do so, motherfucker. Dan Miragliotta, yet another mistake. This bald, fat, fucking wrinkly... Ooh, saved myself there. This bald, fat, wrinkly fucking oaf made in this fight. It was like a local ref in this fight, by the way. Just keep it consistent. That's my only thing. That's my big issue with reffing nowadays. There's not enough consistency in the UFC. Anyways, by the way, after the foul, Drew Dober goes Super Saiyan, started beating the shit out of Kyle Prepelic like he looked like Bobby Green, and then got a TKO. So, good stoppage. Just saying, I don't mind the point deduction. I don't. I'm an advocate. If you commit a foul twice, that's a fight-altering foul, like an eye poke, like a low blow, like a cage grab. If you're grabbing the cage aggressively several times, take a fucking point away. Don't let him get a fucking away with this shit, man. I know I've game is game when Muhammad Naimov beat Nathaniel Wood, which it's like, bro, I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but he should have gotten point deducted. That is baseline. Muhammad Naimov should have gotten points deducted for what he was doing against Nathaniel Wood. He should have. I think Drew Dober should have gotten a point deducted for what he did, and he did. But if we're going to do it here, we got to do it here too. Just a little PSA. Just like a little public service announcement for y'all. Drew Dober, great win though. We move. By the way, don't cut Kyle Prepelic. Dude's pretty fucking fun. He's never going to become anything in the lightweight division, but he's a fun scrap. Anyways, we move to Cody Gibson versus Alatonghae Lee. Wild KO from Marichi Lung. I almost want to fucking cut the entire recording. I just called him Alatonghae Lee, didn't I? Oh, that's really bad. Oh, shit. I literally said in my picks. Arichi Lung. Cody Gibson versus Arichi Lung. I'm sorry, Arichi. Great win from Arichi Lung. Great KO. He literally threw the same right hand twice, and Cody Gibson ran into it both times. He demoned Blackshear Max against Montel Jackson. He literally threw his knee up and ran into a right hand twice and died on the second one. He literally froze on the second one, folded over, kind of just it looked like he wasn't even out. He was just frozen. Like his eyes were, you could see he was grimacing in pain. It reminded like Terrence McKinney, Esteban Ribovich, where he was like, ugh. Cody Gibson was like that, but his eyes were wide open. He was like, ah. And then just eating ground and pound from Marichi Long. He was just eating fucking ground and pound, dude. Great win from Arichi Long. This probably keeps him signed, honestly. I feel like Arichi Long was on a losing streak there. Yep. Oh, no, this one was a no contest because of the low blow. I guess he did beat Johnny Munoz Jr. Amian Zahabi. Amian Zahabi victim, too. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This card made not a lot of sense. This was another underdog. Squeeze me. Great win from Arichi Long. We move to Bruno Silva versus Hyun Sung Park. Great performance from Hyun Sung Park, man. Beautiful shit, dude. He won, honestly, was it every round? I think he won every round. Oh, dude, he submitted him. I forgot. Holy shit. Round one, Bruno Silva. He beat Hyun Sung Park. He looked way faster than Hyun Sung Park. He was landing a lot of uppercuts in this fight. He ended up actually out-grappling Hyun Sung Park as well. Round two ends up dropping Hyun Sung Park. Hurts him bad. Out-grapples him. He kind of toyed with Hyun Sung. He big brothered him a lot in this fight. Round three, Hyun Sung Park started off really well. It looked like he was hurting Bruno Silva, kind of mounting up a comeback. Ends up getting taken down very easily. Bruno Silva, when I say easily, the takedown attempts that Bruno Silva, set up well, Hyun Sung Park couldn't defend a single lick of him. You know what I mean? Hyun Sung ends up giving up his back. Bruno takes it, gets a rear naked. And he actually had his back with hooks in. Hyun Sung got the hooks out, and Bruno Silva, fluffy Dolidze choked him, where he just kind of wrapped up a rear naked with no hooks in and just started walking backward while pulling Hyun Sung to him. So Hyun Sung tap. It was like a schoolyard bulldog choke. Holy fuck, this video is terrible, dude. Don't let me record after fucking. Don't let me ever do this shit again, bro. Anyways, Great win from Bruno Silva. By the way, Bruno Silva very clearly on steroids. Dude, this guy's fucking back knee is insane in this fight. He had fucking like 1,300 volcanoes on his back. Literally Carlos Leal level shit against Renat Fakhretdinov. Fucking nut level shit from Bruno Silva. Hyun Sung again. Backward step for peace of mind here, but yeah, good win for Bruno Silva. We move. Another fucking underdog. Another fight I got wrong. Danny Barlow versus Jordan Santos. I thought Danny Barlow won. I don't know if that's crazy. I thought Danny Barlow could have gotten rounds 1 and 2 here. I thought he landed the better shots out of the two in rounds 1 and 2. Hurt Jordan a lot. I know Jordan mounted a comeback at the end of round 2. Round 3 is very clearly Jordan Santos. I thought Danny Barlow could have gotten the dub. I'm not mad at Jordan getting the win because round 1 was very close. And I think these striking numbers aren't real. There was no way both of these guys only threw 49 strikes. There's literally no fucking way that that's true. It looked like Jordan threw 80 in this fight. In that round. He was throwing a lot of like minuscule shit. He looked a lot like Yuri in this fight with his movements. That was something that, I want to say, was it Lucas or Bedtime? I forget. He was doing a lot of like unnecessary movement. Where he was shuffling his hands around, like Brandon Moreno maxing a little bit, where he was just kind of playing with his own hands and then kind of just like throwing from awkward angles and shit. Danny Barlow fails at his debut at middleweight. Sucks. Danny Barlow falls to 2-2 in the UFC. Yet again, one of these prospects that like, man, just how shit is Josh Quinlan, you know? Jordan gets a W. Good for you, man. Good for you. We move to Stephanie Luciano versus Ravina Oliveira. The first fight I got correct on this card. Holy shit. She beat the shit out of Ravina Oliveira. Very clearly won round 1. She was just bigger and better than Ravina Oliveira. Round 2 rolled around, did the same exact thing, kind of teeing her up. Round 3 rolls around, pretty much the same thing. She ended up getting a rear naked choke on her. Ravina was pretty quick, and she landed some really, like, solid straight punches in rounds 1 and 2. But it was like Stephanie was just very clearly walking her down, and Ravina couldn't get any respect back. So it was just like, it was always an uphill battle for Ravina Oliveira in a way. So good win for Stephanie Luciano. Like I said, strawweight's got a lot of these tall, striker first kind of white women running around right now. Her, Carly Giudice, and Fatima Klein in the unranked section of the division. So I think strawweight can turn into a fun little scrappy division in the coming years. We got some solid, stout prospects coming up. We move to Bakoya versus Belgary. Man, Azamat took a fucking beating lot, I tell you. This is bad. Yusri Belgary, man, looked fucking great. I tell you, he stuffed. Apparently, Azamat got 4 takedowns. I can't name a single takedown where he got more than 10 seconds of control time. I don't think Yusri was ever flat on his back. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember a single instance where this tall, lanky fucker was on his back at all in this fight. Maybe I'm tripping. He was against the cage, like on his butt sometimes. He was never on his back, though, if I'm remembering correctly. Sharpshooter, man. Outside of a right hand in round 2, Yusri beat the ever-living shit out of Azamat Bekayev, man. And it hurt to watch. Going into round 3, I was like, yeah, Azamat's probably cooked. And then Yusri mounts like a 30-punch combination on his fucking head, on his face. Finishes him against the fence. It was a lot like Izzy Peja in a way. What's another one against the fence where it just like the guy can't. Azamat was there, but he was not defending himself correctly. So he just kind of it just got stopped against the fence. Kind of got saved a little bit. Yeah, man. Yusri Belgary, impressive fucking debut. Looked really good. Looked way improved from his Iwasaki performance on the Contender Series, man. Looked way fucking better in this fight than there. Yeah. Great performance. Great performance from Yusri Belgari. We move to Melissa Croden versus Tainara Lisboa. Yeah, Melissa Croden won debut. I picked Tainara Lisboa. I thought Tainara maybe won round 1. Round 2, very clearly, Melissa Croden. Round 3, she finds the finish. TKOs her at the end of the round. Tainara, she gassed out pretty fast post round 1. Round 2, you could see that Melissa Croden was mounting up a lot of offense on Tainara. Tainara was slowing down, getting clipped a bit more. Yeah, a lot of it was just Melissa Croden mounting up offense as the fight went on. Had better cardio. Used her cardio as a weapon as the fight went on. She still looks pretty mid on the feet, even though she did get a TKO. A lot of her success came from Tainara being gassed, which she has had cardio problems in the past. So, not that shocking. But I did pick her to win because I thought Melissa Croden was... I thought Melissa would lose the first 2. I just didn't think that there would be a finish in this fight. That's my whole thing. But yeah, decent debut. UFC Vancouver was pretty fucking nuts, man. A lot of finishes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be 7, 8, 9, and technically 10. So of 13 fights, technically 10. Technically 9. There should have been 10 though. Finishes. Crazy outcome into Ritter Allen. Fucking Amian Zahabi keeps winning somehow. Who fucking knows? Kevin Holland got his nut sack kicked in, gave up across 3. Yeah. If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. Leave a comment down below what you guys want to see next. What were your guys' reactions to the card overall? Do you guys have an opinion on who these guys should face next? Yeah. This weekend, UFC 321, Aspinall versus Gane will take place. Those picks and breakdown will be out for you guys Wednesday. Obviously. I'll have 2 videos out for you guys. 2 non-picks and breakdown videos out for you guys this upcoming week. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy those. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.